Hey everyone, this is Kieran from MSK Physio, and today we're just looking at a standing extension exercise. It's a really nice exercise for those that have lower back pain. It's not going to be suitable for everyone that has lower back pain because lower back pain is very complex. There's a lot of things that go into why you might be having that pain, and it's not always a mechanical reason. This would be more of a mechanical reason, and that is a lot of people, but if it doesn't help, then don't keep doing it. Ideally, you've had a diagnosis from a professional, and this exercise video is assistive to that rehab process. Okay, so at the crux of how a lot of these injuries happen is not necessarily repetitive flexion, but we're thinking about more of a total volume of time in flexion. So that could mean like a really long range, a long held movement. So maybe you're working in the garden for a long period of time, and what's going to happen if you say hold your finger on stretch like this for long enough, I'm stretching that muscle and those tendons, and over a while that's going to start to hurt a little bit. If I push past that, then my body's not going to be too favorable to that, and it's probably going to spasm a little bit and try to restrict further movement. Because I would have gone well past the fatigue point, and there's not a lot of other things left to help protect except a sort of protective reflexive response. So what happens is for the lower back, which is really good at moving forward and backwards, it's got a bit of twist, it's got a bit of sideways, but it's more a forward and back kind of joint or joints. And what happens is people get a little bit stuck in this flexion. And so they come up and they're actually still stuck. And the thing is, those muscles are still on stretch. Now, what can be really nice is, as a visual, those sort of finger trap toys where you get your finger in and you try to pull out and you get stuck. And so if you try to pull harder, you just get even more stuck. And so what ends up being the best thing to do to get out of it is to shorten and then exit slowly. So we're going to use that same sort of philosophy here. If these muscles are on stretch on my back, if I keep trying to stretch them, it's probably not going to give me the relief I'm after. In some cases it will, but it's probably going to look a little bit different. And this is always a bit of a trial and error thing too anyway. The therapist that you're working with might be able to pick up exactly what you need, and there'll be a little less error and a little more trial. But ideally, you're looking to extend and shorten these muscles. So it's quite simple really. Hands on the lower back around your belt line and bend backwards. Don't worry too much about technique or how you're doing it. Just try and bend backwards to start. If you need some more support with your hands, push harder into your back, and you'll use some of your shoulder muscles to just help stabilize your lower back and give you a feeling of a little more sense of security and safety. Ultimately, what you're trying to get better at is bending through here. So right now I'm doing everything's bending back. My knees are bending, my hips are bending forward, I'm getting hip extension, I'm getting lumbar extension, even maybe getting a little bit of neck extension. You can isolate this with more of a ground-based exercise, and we've got videos of that. So that'd be a prone exercise where you're laying on your tummy and you're pushing up into those sort of cobra push-ups, or you might add a strengthening element to it and get into some of your Supermans. But to settle things down, you're just first going to work on trying to extend and shorten those muscles. Forward and back. You might do 10 to 20 or so. Might feel a stretch through the tummy. It might feel like a bit of a block through here. As long as the pain is going towards the middle and staying in here, then good, keep going. If it's starting to go down the legs a bit, stop. Not the right exercise for you, okay? So focus on that pain just sort of growing in this area here and going away from, say, the glutes or the legs. If it was only in your back to start with, that's fine. You might find that it starts to just subside anyway. And after that, you should be able to walk a little more freely and feel like you've got a little bit more ease of movement, just generally. If you like this video, then please hit like below. Otherwise, to check out more of our content in the future, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking our logo over here. And to check out our latest video, click up here.